So since moving to Cambodia, I've had a few people ask me why I live in Siem Reap and not Phnom Penh, the capital city. And honestly, after spending time in both of the cities, I've come to a very scientific conclusion. I actually enjoy surviving when I try and cross the road every day. Because Phnom Penh is exciting, fast-paced, chaotic, loud, and somehow every tuk-tuk driver knows where you're going before you do. I mean, it's like everybody drinks 3 iced coffees before the sun even makes it up in the morning. But Siem Reap, on the other hand, seems like Phnom Penh's chill cousin, who does yoga, drinks fresh coconut juice, and actually lets you cross the street without having to write your will first. So today I'm going to break it down why I prefer living in Siem Reap over Phnom Penh. From traffic stress to the coffee shop vibes, the peaceful sunsets, let's get into it and start with the first section of this video. So let's start with the biggest difference. Siem Reap is calm, relaxed, and just easier to breathe in. There's less traffic, less noise, and way less chaos compared to Phnom Penh. In fact, I'm yet to hear a horn since I've moved here, which I think says something about the people and how relaxed it is here. But in Phnom Penh, it feels like everything is moving fast, with motorbikes, tuk-tuks everywhere, constant honking, and a kind of hustle that never really stops, which is to be expected with a big city lifestyle, and some people move to the big city for that exact feeling, but that's just not for me. I mean, Siem Reap, on the other hand, feels like life moves at human pace, and you can live your life on your own rhythm, because it's hard to get sucked into a chaotic lifestyle here, because that doesn't really exist. Now onto lifestyle and daily living, because in Siem Reap, everywhere is walkable. If you can handle the heat, you can walk everywhere in the city. Plus there's a strong expat and digital nomad community. Life revolves around exploring Khmer culture, visiting Angkor Wat, and all the surrounding temples, as well as exploring local markets, enjoying a vibrant cafe and restaurant scene. Plus it's safe, green, lacks high-rise buildings, and with a very relaxed atmosphere. But in Phnom Penh, daily life can feel more intense. Getting around is definitely more stressful, and it's harder to find those quiet pockets unless you really look for them. So again, Siem Reap is more my speed. Now, nature and surrounding. This is a huge one for me because here nature is next level, and it's exactly what I wanted after living by the beach for a year. In Siem Reap, you're surrounded by natural beauty. You've got temples, countrysides, rice fields, waterfalls, wildlife sanctuaries, lush landscapes, and sunsets that honestly never get old, as well as the largest freshwater lake in Southeast Asia. And nearby that has floating villages, mangrove forests, and berg sanctuaries. I mean, what more could you ask for when it comes to nature? Whereas Phnom Penh is a big city, it does have its charm, but it doesn't offer the same connection to nature, or the same green view from your window, which is something I appreciate every day here. Now, nightlife. You might think Phnom Penh wins here, and yes, it's bigger and more diverse. The nightlife scene is vibrant, rapidly growing, mixing cosmopolitan, cocktail lounges, rooftop bars, lively pubs, particularly along the riverside. It has it all, that's for sure. But Siem Reap still has a really fun nightlife scene. It's just more social and compact, aka it's on and only around Pub Street. You'll find the entire party scene there, which you could say is good because it's all in one location. So if you want to avoid it, you can. And if you want to go there, you know exactly where to go. It's easy to find. You can go out, meet people easily, everything is close together. It feels more community driven rather than overwhelming. But if you want a bigger, more diverse, and a full mix of the nightlife experiences, then the hidden alleyway bars, live music, cocktail spots, all in Phnom Penh might be more your speed. But for me myself, I'm getting a bit old now anyway, and I'm not really into the whole nightlife scene anymore. I'd rather be in bed early, up by 5 in the morning, but maybe that's just me, you know, getting ready for my old man life. But I prefer living this way anyway, it works for me. Now, cost of living, because both cities are affordable, but I've found Siem Reap is slightly easier on the wallet overall, especially when it comes to rent and day-to-day lifestyle anyway. And honestly, you get a lot of quality for what you pay for. You can spend $200 to $300 for a decently sized one-bed apartment. Now, if you want to spend a bit more than that and get a bigger place, rooftop pool, brand new build, you can. And if you really want to splash the cash, you can get a really big villa with a private pool. And if you're splitting it with some mates, that's easily doable. I mean, I've personally found here in Siem Reap you really do get what you pay for. And when I was looking at moving to Cambodia, I did look at Phnom Penh because it is the capital after all. And the prices were definitely a bit higher, on average, for what I was looking for and the quality I was after as well. The size, amenities, I couldn't really find what I wanted in any of the locations I wanted to actually live in. So now, to compare to Siem Reap, I pay $250 a month for a good size one bed apartment that's a brand new build, not even on Google Maps yet. And I have a shop, a cafe downstairs, plus a rooftop pool, which is also very nice. So I think for $200 a month, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, enough so I made it myself, obviously. And daily living when I travelled to Cambodia last year, the food and everyday life in Siem Reap is slightly cheaper, especially when you're outside the centre, because that is the more touristy part. And the centre is always going to be a bit pricier. That goes for any major city really. So for overall cost of living, transport, food, I'd say there's not too much difference, but Siem Reap overall is slightly cheaper, I'd say. Now onto the community vibe. This might be the most important reason. Siem Reap feels laid back, small town where you actually get to know people, if you want to. You'll see familiar faces every day. You can easily build connections and it feels more personal. And for the actual community it attracts, tourists, backpackers, NGO workers, retirees, and anyone that's looking for a slower pace of life. Then when compared to Phnom Penh, which can feel more anonymous, like any big city, if you want to live in your own lane and be one of the many in a big city, then Phnom Penh's more for you. The community itself is more diverse, featuring a mix of locals, expats, entrepreneurs, and diplomatic staff. And I'd say the crowd is more serious, more professional, especially when compared to the vibe of Siem Reap. But as for my final thoughts, don't get me wrong, Phnom Penh does have its advantages. Phnom Penh is great if you love the big city energy, the endless noise, and the daily thrill of almost being hit by a motorbike before breakfast. But Siem Reap for me just wins. It's calmer, greener, less stressful, and somehow, even the dogs seem more emotionally stable. I can get a coffee without needing a tactical escape plan. I can cross the road without updating my will, and I can enjoy sunsets that look like they were personally approved by Instagram. Of course, both cities have their charm, and honestly, if you can survive Phnom Penh traffic, you can probably survive anything. But for me, Siem Reap offers a better quality of life, slower, more peaceful, more connected, and it suits someone who wants a more tranquil, nature-oriented, charming, and lower cost of living lifestyle. And for my day-to-day life, I'll happily choose Siem Reap's peaceful chaos over Phnom Penh's aggressive chaos any day of the week. But those are my thoughts anyway. I'm sure you guys can let me know in the comments below if you disagree. But that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.